Good day. We will have a. Today I am Kurt Otinggey, and this presentation is about the concept of religion, philosophy, and science with the guide of the late philosopher Sadia Gaon. This is for the course of philosophy of cosmology under the guidance of Master Shu Chan. To begin with, let's have our main thesis. The merge of religion and science gave a new challenge to thinkers in which ways to pay full attention. Sadia Gaon relates to this whereas there is a recall on the Torah and at the same time seeks for empirical evidence of the universe. The latter is linked with the former. Otherwise, there is a loss of balance to feed the knowledge for humanity. Reliance of divine intervention without using human skill is vague as it degrades the image of person into a mere instrument of religion rather than humanity over religion. Practicing sciences without acknowledging the existence of a divine being does not recognize the smallness of an individual and treat the universe as under its domain. It contradicts the vastness of the community of beings and makes humanity the core of creations instead of being a main part of it. Religions like Judaism, for example, held that God is not in the sphere of reasoning. It is through divine relation of the health of prophets. So this supporting points was borrowed from the concept of Malthus 1921. This context highlights the supreme state whereas it cannot be reached by reason alone. To say the existence of a divine being is beyond the mere knowledge of humans. There is a need for a revelation as well for giving an order of a universe even without numerous quests or attempts in it. This tried to say for thinking to let go of suppositions that can be fallible in the sense that activities in an environment which can be changed and is seen as new to an observer but is rooted from a divine state. For the second supporting point, according to Muritz 2009, the laws of nature require a designer. Science also the notion of God in different language. Numerous claims have it like taking the words of Big Bang, evolution, supernova, or gravity. This small encoded, for instance, is in the case of star that lay in delicate balance between the forces of nature. It possibly said that even the principles of the physical realm relies on other ideas. Gravity relies on the plane in order to play its part. Inertia needed objects that stop suddenly in order for this state to bring upon itself. With the third supporting point, the Bible of Judeo-Christian traditions and other beliefs back to the ancient times, for example, have notions of combined science, religion, and philosophy. There are said to biblical references and possible proof for a spherical Earth, according to Gear, 1987. Thus, it tries to say that divine revelation has also a guide to wider knowledge on the existence of heavenly beings like sun, moon, and star, and vice versa. Religion and science are inseparable in this sense. A biblical scholar like Mitchell Dahoud states on the doom of heaven, such as the Hebrew word gulath, which refers as ball. It has something to do with form of the living planet as round in the contrast with the hawks of being a flat one. Let's proceed to the objections. First, there is still a downside of divine revelation without the balance of free thought of humanity as a reflection of the part of universe or its stewards. It limits the search for further ideas as well in the sense that all things are already shown and the questions are no longer in their place. They are already granted by the omnipotent. So this was taken from Wilson 2013. This took over the image of sciences as merely vague if not obsolete. It might take a gaze to the chances of human even further explaining the image of God and its creation with understandable language. And second, somehow there is still a separation between science and religion. David Hume, for example, has the notion of interconnectedness of facts and values. Facts can be those that are taken for experiment or reasoning. Values are those that are rooted in practice and customs. Although it can be undeniable thing, it still splits into the task being done. Stephen Jay Gould has shaped Stephen Jay Gould has shaped the religion and science taking their own parts. The former for values, while the latter held the fact. Andrew 2020. This was taken from Andrew 2020. Values can refer to those intangible things that are gained through actions and following the flows of events. Facts are those that are obtained through speculation and observation. The ancients have cosmology, but indeed affirming. So this is the third objection. The ancients have cosmology, but indeed affirming the Earth as a flat object. There is still no scientific proof back then to conclude that the living planet is spherical in shape and form. The Earth is allegedly the center of the universe as well, which provides a question about the existence of stars and recently undiscovered planets. Even Aristotle's cosmology, for example, is fallible in the eyes of Copernicus. The former Aristotle believed that the Earth was the center of the solar system, taken from Kramer 2016. This challenged the notion of solar system in the accurate image of contemporary world. Continuously, we will proceed to the answers to the objection. First answer: divine revelation remains important as a source of reflection of reality. With it, humanity will wake into the call of preserving the balance of universe as a command from a higher unseen authority. It does not contradict the notion of free will, however, in the sense that it also needs a guidance for adhering to the given order within the physical realm. Messages from a higher being makes an hour not to satisfy what is read by mere sense perception. It can be mystery that is understood with a contact to the higher part of consciousness. This serves as a call to return to the order of life given by a supreme authority. The sage state is of humanity as the watcher of the sage state is of humanity as the watcher of phenomena, and for them to exercise reason as follow. Although science and religion work on their own task, they share common ground which is to reach the higher part of consciousness. Science aims to understand the full structure of the universe. Belief deals with finding the realm of that the divine that is understood even the mere human thinking. Facts and values in the vast community of existence build up the order within the beings. Third, the older version of search on the structure of universe gave way to current sciences. The eclipse, for example, was taken from the observation of the heavenly bodies seeing their shadows in respective time. The sun can tell time is reflected in the shape of some objects like a root shape, or let's say a sundial. Earth was known as the existing and living planet back then, as there are no further rational or even empirical proofs to conclude what is the state of the said planet. Third, the older version of search on the structure of universe gave way to current sciences. The eclipse, for example, was taken from the observation of the heavenly bodies seeing their shadows in respective time. The sun can tell time is reflected in the shadow of some objects like a root shape, or let's say a sundial. Earth was known as the existing and living planet back then, as there are no further rational or even empirical proofs to conclude what is the state of the said planet. The insights. First, both the divine message that he gives, a reflection of the cosmos, order, and philosophical scientific knowledge, contributed to the growth of humanity and its connection outside the sphere of merely what is provided by the senses. The point of religion is to show an example of humility as there is a curator to correct the existing misconceptions of humans as the crown and the masters of humanity. Philosophy and sciences are fit to encourage people to use their senses in grasping reality and recently take a glance of its foundation. The ancients have a notion of creation time in Genesis, even without the solar system back then, but it tries to give way for the stars as guiding light in the universe. Second, science and religion are interrelated despite their complications in way of interpreting data. Science may measure or estimate the existence of forces and other beings in the cosmos. The religion, on the other hand, continues to gain clarity of the supreme entity through the help of its creation like time, gravity, and other given laws found in nature or bodily realm. The fact can be reflected in the solid like the science which is of the rocks as minerals and the earth that strengthen it. Values are thus abstract thing that is taken through imagination. Yet, it has a copy in physical world as well. Width, height, length, order, and beauty are unseen and unwielded by mind, but is existing because of measurement. It takes time for knowing the structure of the universe, and indeed, there are attempts done through assumption, but is far from reality. Some argue with the roundness of Earth, but rejects that the Earth moves around the Sun. It is because of observation that there are no other tools back then to help him nowhere determine the movements of planets. Besides, this try to say that Earth might not be the only living planet in the sense that Moon has the resistance of floating on its sun that has heat. These ideas are alive in the sense of their functions in the balance of a living Earth. The sun and stars symbolizes heat and moon represents moisture. To end this, we have a conclusion. The sacred scripture is supposed to be guides of acknowledging the divine presence by looking on its creation at the same time. It is essential to consider both divine revelation, reason, and empirical evidence to learn the flow of things that exist together with humanity through times. With science and philosophy, one can have clear sight in the order of things even though left alone by a supreme creator for being to think. The religion and the sacred reminds and relig- The religion reminds people to reflect on the power of reason and says as things can be changed and senses as things can change by themselves hidden from the observation, as it might happen. Just like in a thick gray cloud, does not mean to pour rain as a process. This could vanish, some sort of trick. Thus, example like Sadia Agaon treats a holy scripture being the source of truth and questioning it as well. Why this text exists or what makes it come to be. But God is also the reason which sets the limit of human being as not superior among creatures. Philosophy, science, and religion make people think not to disrupt or step over the hierarchy of creation, but become aware of their state.